managing the puck through the mid zone and supporting through that area, and I think we'll have the same success and continue our defensive play.
All right, John, thanks so much for your time. Good luck tonight. We'll be back just after this with the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report. All that and more coming up as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing continues here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back at the State Farm Arena, Ben Horner with you, and you heard Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine talking about it there. He liked the team defense. He liked the way his team shut things down. Well, there might be a few things about the Wildcats defense that he's going to want to adjust in the second period. Most notably, I mentioned, by the way, in the media timeout in the first, you could see him getting into the defensive core a little bit here and wondering a little bit about what that might have been about. Could have been asking them to move the puck a little bit quicker, keep their feet moving, try and change the angle of attack for the forecheckers from Rio Grande Valley. And by that, what I mean is, if you have a defenseman skating up, say, the left wing side, we'll use Matt Cook as an example. Say you have Matt Cook in his own defensive zone at the left wing circle. He sees a forechecker coming in from center ice. Well, if he can cut one way or another rather than continuing on the path he's going, all of a sudden that's going to open up a whole lot of ice for him and his teammates as it will take the forechecker momentarily out of the play. Cam Knight is very good at doing that when he's on his game. Jake Townsend has proved that he's adept at doing so as well. Chernyuk, Kosmeski, and Hinchin are getting there. Cook strong on that as well when they are on their game. So we'll watch out for that in the second period, as now we'll turn our attention to what's going on elsewhere in the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. And my goodness, they've gotten a football game going on here in the Upper Peninsula. The Sioux Eagles 8, Michigan 7. Defense and goaltending optional at that one, as there's about 7:13 remaining in that third period up there at Sault Ste. Marie. The Eagles, by the way, have played the most games in the league with 32. They posted a 4-3 win last night. In Wisconsin, the Coulee Region Chill playing host to the Austin Bruins this evening. 2 aside there with about 8 minutes remaining in the second stanza in that one. The Chill were idle last night, while Austin have won 5 straight after a 2-1 win over the Minnesota Magicians. In Janesville, it is 2-2 between the Jets and the Keystone Ice Miners. Jets looking for a sweep. They have won 5 of the last 6 and are 6 points clear at the top of the North Division after a 3-0 win last evening. 2-2 the score there in that one. In Cloquet, Minnesota, it's 0-0 between the Wilderness and the Kenai River Brown Bears. About 10 minutes remaining in the second period in that one. The Wilderness were off last night. That coming after they had posted a 5-2 win over Kenai River on Thursday. The Brown Bears sitting in last in the Midwest Division and starting to lose touch with the teams above them. In Richfield, Minnesota, it is Magicians 0, Fairbanks Ice Dogs 2. They have about 11 minutes remaining in the second period there. Magicians actually posted a 4-1 win over Fairbanks on Thursday, but lost 2-1 last night to Austin. Interesting note on the Ice Dogs, they actually own the worst penalty kill in the North American Hockey League, yet somehow are 3 points clear at the top of the Midwest Division. In Springfield, the Tomahawks look like they're on their way to avenge a 3-0 loss last night. They are up 4-1 over the Junior Blues in the second period. Bismarck playing host to the Minot Minotauros this evening, 3-0. Tauros holding the advantage there after a 2-0 win over Brookings last night. Bismarck posted a 5-4 win over Aberdeen last evening, but that game was at 5-1 at one point, and they were looking over their shoulders at the end of that contest. Speaking of Aberdeen and Brookings, they're facing off this evening. 1-1 the score there, about 5 minutes into the second period in Brookings. As I mentioned, they lost last night, as Aberdeen has now lost 6 straight after losing last night's contest. Around the South Division, Topeka now trailing 1-0 to the Wenatchee Wild after a 3-0 win last night. Halfway through the second period there, it's also Teddy Bear Toss night up in Topeka at the Landon Expo Center. As in Lone Star, it is 1-0 Brahmas through 20 minutes of action over the Odessa Jackalopes. 5-1 win for the Brahmas last night. I saw a comment on Twitter earlier today from Jackalopes broadcaster Joey Batano, who has mentioned that Leo Lum said to him that he guaranteed a win for the Jackalopes tonight. So we'll see if they're able to break the Brahmas' perfect home record thus far. That wraps up the out-of-town scoreboard report, and that'll put an exclamation point on our intermission report. We'll step aside and come back at the State Farm Arena. When we do, we'll have the second period of action between the Killer Bees and your Wichita Falls Wildcats. All that coming up your way on the other side of the break here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Ben Horner back here with you at the State Farm Arena in Hidalgo, Texas, as we're getting set for the second period of action between your Wichita Falls Wildcats and the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. 1-0 the score in favor of the Cats through 20 minutes of action. A power play goal from Austin Albrecht, from Johnny Lazarus, and Evan Oakley has the Cats leading by a goal. Austin Shaw now in the cage to my left, as Nick Schmidt is in the cage to my right. As the Cats will skate Q2P across your keyboard even in the second period, and coming back the other way obviously are the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. I guess a ski board would be a snowboard. Either way, slip of the tongue. And we'll move forward here. It'll be Farmer, Albrecht, Sheridan, Knight, and Cook to start things off for the Cats as we skate 5-on-5. shots on goal in that first period. We're 12-8 according to point streak here. As the puck is down, we are underway in the second period. As right away, it's rimmed in deep by the Killer Bees. G-Rads first to it here, taken away from him on a good alert back check by Farmer, as Claire will serve this back down low from the left point. Behind the net with it, G-Rads ridden in hard as this is banked off the outside of the cage, and Cam Knight will look to float it ahead. Racing forward, it's Sherazin, too far for him, no icing though, as Kevin is the first to it here. Over skated on the slick ice, Albrecht picks this one up. Albrecht to the middle, Farmer, one-timer blocked. Cook down low below the goal line now. Cook out in front, up to the point, Farmer again, his shot, Headhunter got the glass. Near side half wall. Cook chips to the corner. Sherazin right back for Albrecht. Albrecht looking to protect and play it back into the corner here as Sherazin gets mugged a little bit in a two-side battle. Sees Albrecht pull free. Sherazin, top of the zone for Knight. Knight spun it back for APAP. Miscommunication there. Wildcat skater went tumbling into the net. That's Albrecht who is in the back of the cage. That'll draw a penalty here, and it'll be a roughing. So the Cats power play, 1-for-1 on the evening, will head back on the man advantage. Faceoff will come to the right of Schmidt. Albrecht was sent tumbling into the ice, or tumbling into the net by Croston on that one, and unfortunately for Austin, that will not count as a second goal for him tonight. He's already put the puck in the back of the net, and then he put himself in the back of the net. Anyway, back to it here. Albrecht remains out there on the man advantage as this one is skied all the way down the ice. Townsend has to hustle back and retrieve. He'll set up shop behind the cage of Shaw, swoop it forward, and look to come up ahead. Now it's Lazarus. Swooping through the middle of the ice, Lazarus looking to play to the left wing side and does for Oakley. He'll put on the brakes of the half wall. Oakley trying to fight through the check there, pulls it back to him, and can't work it up to the point quite yet. Splits the D at the blue line, and Kosmeski has to circle back for it. 90 seconds remaining on the Cats power play as Kosmeski will gain the zone and take it wide. Here's Kosmeski, shot, saved there by Schmidt, as now Kosmeski getting worked over a little bit there by a man behind the net. That's a Demarifi. So we'll get a whistle here. 18:31 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats are leading 1-0, and again, they're on the power play. League's leading power play unit, and it's worthwhile to remember that at one point the Cats power play was 3 for 31 and was 21st in the league. Well, now they're 26 for 104 and are best in the league. Here is Matt Cook. He'll curl it back to the point and give to Knight. Knight along for Cook once more. Nice stick move. He'll work it down low for Beaulieu at the left wing side. Softly along for Staub in the corner. Now it's Beaulieu once more. Beaulieu walking, gives it down to Staub. Staub, and a sprawling play there by Bell. Sent this one back to the corner. APAP to Cook, top of the right circle. His shot saved and held there by Schmidt. As someone had lost a stick, it was a Rio Grande Valley skater, as it was Evan Bell, who had lost his lumber. 18:09 remaining in the second, minute 5 remaining in the first, and tell you what, Matt Cook has got his shooting gloves on tonight. About the 4th or 5th time we've seen him rip one from around the circles. Off the face-off, another win here by Rio Grande Valley. This one off the glass and all the way down. Wide of the cage of Shaw. He'll play this one along and leave it for Cam Knight here, as continuing to control the face-off dot right now are the Killer Bees. Shaw left it along here for Knight. Hard back cross ice for Beaulieu. He'll step around to Manzumalides. Beaulieu will put on the brakes now at the half wall. He'll look to play it towards the middle now. Beaulieu chips it along for Staub, who's skating from behind the net. Staub, top of the right wing circle. Backdoor pass. Here is Beaulieu. Holding, loading, backdoor pass again. They score! It's APAP, his second of the weekend. The Cats' second power play tally of the night, and they lead 2-0. Pass from Beaulieu across ice might have been for Staub. It was knocked aside and came right to APAP at the front of the net. That's goal number 5 on the year for Tommy, and it's 2-0 Cats. Austin Beaulieu, by the way, continues to produce on the power play. That'll be point number 27 on the year for Beaulieu, but moreover, point number 12 on the power play to lead the team. 10 assists on the man advantage for Austin Beaulieu. Here is Litviak. You think that guy can dish the puck? Oh, yes. Here's Litviak into the glove of Schmidt, and we'll draw the whistle here with 17:30 remaining in the second period. Austin Beaulieu might be one of the most dynamic forwards we've seen in the South Division for quite some time. In terms of the total package, his ability to protect the puck, his ability to dish the puck, his on-ice vision, his shooting ability. One of the best forwards I've seen in my short time here in the North American Hockey League. Kosmecki upended, no call-up coming here, but he was able from his belly to move it along as the Cats were able to negate what could have been a dangerous rush ahead for Rio Grande Valley. Wood swept this one off the boards and in. It served right back onto his blade here, and he'll have to retreat and give back to Adem Arifi. Arifi up the wall for G-Rads. Chipped around him. Here's Croston. Toe drag. Croston. Good poke check there by Kuzmeski. Puck still loose at the doorstep. It's Connor Wood not able to move it along here. Somewhat knocked down to the ice. This is going to be a penalty upcoming here against the Wildcats. We'll get the whistle. 16:56 remaining in the second. We'll get a roughing call here, and it's to Shane Kuzmeski. And the Wildcats will be shorthanded on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. On the air, Wichita Falls on the PK, middle of the pack, 11th in the league, 81 for 96. That's 84.4%. Here is Williams to the point, pulling it back. Here is Weiss, loading, shot blocked there. That stung Matt Cook. Looked like it hit him just at the top of the shin guard. He's lumbering back to his feet as regaining his zone. Here's Rio Grande Valley. Soldiering along here is Cook. It's Williams. Back up to Weiss. Weiss off to a man top of the circle. Balsamo toe drag shot. It was blocked and didn't get on net. Cook really still laboring here in front of the cage of Shaw. Here's Weiss towards the net. Blocked again by Matt Cook. Here is Williams once more. Behind the net. Williams off to the far side where Balsamo has it. Balsamo outside the circle. Plays down low. Shot off the outside of the cage and it sent the twine rippling. Balsamo once more. Cook really under some pressure here. He is hurt. Here is Weiss, but he soldiers on. It's Balsamo at the circle. His shot blocked by Knight, and he'll send it the length of the ice. My goodness, what a great, brave shift there by Matt Cook. After blocking one shot that really stung him, it looked like the right kneecap, he took another shot in the same spot. What a shift on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill there by one of the Wildcats' veteran leaders. 50 seconds remaining on the power play for Rio Grande Valley. Starting it up ahead. Here they come. Now it's on the stick of Litviak. Look out in the stands there as he skied that one out of play. That was deflected, they say. Where will they put the face-off? They'll put it in the neutral zone here. As we'll get a stoppage. 15:39 remaining in the second period. Off one back by the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees as it's on the stick of Van Tile, giving it up to G-Rads. Into the corner it goes. First to it here will be Wendling. Farmer puts him under some pressure, trying to work the puck loose as now Litviak and Farmer combine to sneak this one just over the blue line. Crossan collects, swoops back in, gives it along to Bell. Bell can't dance past Cherniak. Now Cherniak will send this one all the way down. Now Litviak in a foot race trying to beat Van Tile back. Van Tile gets good position and is able to pull this one away from the Russian. 10 seconds remaining in the Cats' penalty kill. They work on a quick change here as Beaulieu and Apap are quick onto the ice. Here is Crossan gaining the zone around Apap. Apap below the goal line. Rather, this was Crossan below the goal line as we are back to 5-on-5 hockey here. This sent all the way down the ice. No icing as it was played before Kosmecki had stepped free from the sin bin. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as this is Colin Staub. Up ahead, he was looking for Beaulieu. I thought Beaulieu might have gotten a stick to it. No, say the linesman. So that'll draw an icing call and a whistle. 14:41 remaining in the second period as the Wildcats are leading 2-0 on a power play goal in the first period. And a goal from Apap in the second. Off the face-off, nice win here by the Cats as Beaulieu stepped forward and swoops ahead. Here is Beaulieu, puts on the brakes, has Apap in the middle. Backdoor for Apap, and Schmidt makes a great save as Apap had gotten free. It's back down low for Apap again, though. He'll round on it, waits for reinforcements. Apap, Kosmecki, top of the circle, and he missed the net with his wrister. Here is Hinchin, left point, banks down low. Bolio let it run for APAP. APAP banks off the wall. Hustling down here is Kuzmeski. He'll chop it free. Behind the cage, APAP has it. APAP looking to go in front for Bolio. Deflected away and skips over Bolio's stick, but Bolio has it back behind the cage. Tied up, but not before he worked it to Staub. Here is Staub. Where is he going to go with it? He'll step down away from Weiss. Now he's tied up, showing good strength to maintain possession, and he got it along to Bolio. Up to Kuzmeski, left point. He'll shake off the dust and play it down low, as this is APAP. APAP below the goal line, now working towards this right wing corner with 13:55 remaining in the second, as the Cats lead 2-0. Trying to work it free is Staub in there as well in a two-a-side battle. Great work by this line of Bolio, Staub, and APAP as they continue to be dynamic here. Sherazin can't pull the trigger here as he just couldn't reach and corral that puck. Hinchin hustles back into his own zone to corral as the Cats are trying to finish up a change. Hinchin onto the stick of Sherazin. He'll drop for Farmer towards the net. Knocked aside there by Schmidt. Kuzmeski first to it here. Here is Kuzmeski walking towards the middle, but he left it behind on some soft ice here as it's played forward off the skates of Hinchin and picked up there by Zumalitis. Zumalitis left it behind. Now it's Farmer looking to race forward. Here is Farmer, right wing wall, drops for Albrecht. Albrecht shot blocked there. Now the Wildcats have to hustle up here. Here's Mazzara looking to step past Cam Knight. Good defensive play there by Knight to chip it away from him. He'll play off the glass, but not clear. Mazzara, but we're going to get a whistle here. It'll be a hand pass, as it was knocked out of the air by Zumalitis and touched up by Mazzara first. 12:54 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats are leading 2-0 here. Farmer will take the draw here. He won it back cleanly, and Knight will pick this one up. Here is Knight. Got it back to Matt Cook, who looks none the worse for the wear after taking a couple of real hard lumps on shot blocks here. We'll watch that one as Albrecht has this one and will look to swoop up ahead. He'll get to the red line and play it in deep as the Cats will work on a change here. Claire the first to it. He'll swoop up ahead as the Bees look to start buzzing up the ice. Here is Claire to the blue line, chipped it in deep. First to it here behind the net is Albrecht, rather Yeager. He'll bump it along for Knight. Here is Knight. Lost the puck. Trying to step free was G-Rads, but Yeager intercepted as this is Matt Cook once more. Cook and Knight logging a lot of time now on this pairing thus far, as this is Matt Cook not liking what he saw, so he'll bring it back into his own zone and start it once more. Pass through the middle of the ice, works its way along to Yeager. Friendly bounce for the Wildcats as Yeager will rim this one around the kick plate. First to it here was Oakley. Lost his puck in the skates of the referee there. That was Shurik as it's played behind the net for Waylon Williams. 11:45 remaining in the second. Cleared but not out as Cook holds and flips it towards the corner. It's Litviak. Has it knocked away from him, but he'll get it right back. Played blindly along there, hoping for Townsend, but G-Rats picks this one up. Got to the red line and plays in deep. Bennett the first to it here as Cook takes the bump, but not before he jabbed it along to be picked up by Townsend. Onto the stick of Litviak. Litviak looking to split a few guys. Onside play, no, offside barely, as Oakley had just not been able to keep his skate to the blue line, so that'll get us a whistle, and that'll get us a media timeout here as the Wildcats are leading 2-0 with about 11 minutes remaining in this second stanza here. Ben Horner with you, FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, and what we're seeing right now from the Wildcats is they're doing a better job of settling that puck, and this is a team that predicates their game on puck possession. I mean, that's so simple to say, but when you think about it, there are so many teams that resort to a chip and chase, a dump and chase kind of mentality, and the Wildcats are not getting sucked into that game. They like to possess the puck. You saw it there just a moment ago. Matt Cook didn't like what he saw up the ice. Rather than just trying to force it to the red line and chip in deep and give up possession, he swooped back into his own zone, settled things down, and then found a passing lane through the middle of the ice. That's what the Wildcats like to do on their breakout. If it's not there the first time, that's okay. Cycle it back and start it up again is the way they like to play it. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone here, just outside the Wildcats' offensive zone, as the Cats are leading 2-0 with 11:24 remaining in the second period. It'll be Bateson, Subri, and Lazarus out there, as Subri can't win this draw. It's Claire for Rio Grande Valley. Up ahead for Van Tile, but Van Tile plays this one all the way towards the cage of Shaw. Shaw got to stick to it, so there's no icing here. Now Bateson looks to play this one softly ahead. It's onto the stick of Townsend here. Townsend has some pressure as Wood put him under a forecheck there as Lazarus works this one free. Subri was trying for Bateson. It was sticked away from Grant, and he'll hustle in after it. Bateson going in on the forecheck here off the glass. This is into the middle of the ice where Chernyuk sweeps this one away, and again he'll sweep it up the ice, this time for Subri to grab it. Subri floats it into the corner and will hustle in pursuit as Claire, the first to it here, rims it around the kick plate. Croston handles it and gives it along to Balsamo. Balsamo with Wood with him. Shot blocked away there by Shaw and goes to the corner. Balsamo with it once more. Tries to spin it for Croston. Play towards the middle of the ice where Townsend was waiting for it. Tries to play it along for Bateson. It was onto the stick of Bell, and Shaw will put this one right onto the stick of Townsend to start it forward once more. Lazarus chips this one and goes in after it. He'll win this battle here. Takes a good hard bump, but can't grab possession of that puck as this is Zumalitis. Zumalitis, shot, saved there by Shaw, and he'll just close his mitt on it and draw the whistle. 10-11 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats are leading 2-0 here. Shots on goal according to Point Streak, 16-8. And 4-0 in this second period, although make that 4-1 here, or 4-2 even. So it should be 16-10. Either way, the Wildcats are holding the advantage. They lead the league in average shots on goal per game, as another move here by Bolio to fish this puck free off a faceoff. He laid it up ahead for Staub. Staub will win this race here, so that'll negate the icing as it's picked up by Bolio. Hooked back to the point, here's Kosmeski holding on it. Shot towards the net, off a leg, gets to the glass behind the cage. Apap hard into the boards there, trying to step free with his stick tied up. It's Bolio at the goal line, backdoor for Staub, who wasn't ready for it as he's tied up. No call-up coming here as it was just a tangle, says Shurik. Here's Wood with a shot to flex and floats over the cage. Bolio first to it here. He left it there at the door in the corner as Kosmeski will rim this one around for Staub. Staub hacks at it, not clear. Towards the net, off a leg, and floats to the corner. Wendling in front, Shaw, backdoor save. Oh my goodness, and Shurik, with a quick whistle there, he lost sight of it. It was sitting loose at the side of the net. Break for the Cats. 9:25 remaining in the second, and they are leading 2-0. Face-off will be to the right of Shaw. Williams' shot off the face-off was deflected and got into the protective netting behind the cage of Austin Shaw. And that will draw another face-off here. Reminder to stick around at the end of this second period. We'll have the intermission report. We'll revisit last night's 3-1 win. And we'll also break down this second period of action. And of course, the customary look around the league, as this is Austin Albrecht playing this one off the far side wall. Oh, and kneeing there, and Sherazin is down. He's trying to get back to his feet. How Shurik missed that one, I will never know. It was right in front of him. That's a knee-to-knee collision, and Sherazin hobbles his way back to the bench. Farmer up the ice. He'll negate the icing here as he got to stick to it. Farmer now Litviak into the corner he goes. Here is Litviak trying to find a passing seam. Towards the corner, oh, Farmer swats it out of midair. We're trying to get a look at Sherazin right here. 8:52 remains in the second period. He just took a knee-to-knee hit that went uncalled here, as now there's a conversation between Shurik, the referee, and his linesman. 8:52 remains in the second. The Cats are still leading 2-0 here. And Shurik, here's what we'll say. He has to be careful. He has to be careful because this game can get out of hand quickly. This is a Rio Grande Valley team that's frustrated. They've got a big chip on their shoulder. They're very hungry for a win. They're down by 2. They already lost last night, and they're starting to take big runs at guys. Shurik needs to clamp this one down for the safety of both sets of players. Yeager will take the draw. It goes against Croston here, as skating on the line for Sherazin is Oakley. This played by a high stick here of Litviak. So we will get another whistle. 8:46 remaining in the second period. 2-0 is the score as the Wildcats are holding the 2-goal edge. Face-off will be to the left of Austin Shaw after the high stick. Keep an eye on Sheridan. He's standing. Looks like he's ready to get back onto the ice for his next shift. As the puck is loose off the face-off, and it's worked forward here as Oakley races forward and tries to get onto this chip up ahead for Litviak. Here is Oakley onto the brakes. Litviak shot, scores! One-timer from Litviak in the slot, and the Cats lead by 3. It was a great chip out by Litviak. Oakley raced onto it, and Litviak ripped it top shelf from the slot to make it 3-0. Even strength marker for the Cats. They lead 3-0 here with 8:36 remaining in the second period. Here is Williams serving this one in deep. No icing here, so Shaw will step out of his blue paint to play this one along. Now it's Chernyuk up the wall. Little collision there from a couple of guys who didn't know they were there. Towards the net. Deflected. Rebound saved, and it was off the outside of the post on a follow-up chance. Williams shakes it towards the net. Getting a stick in the way there was Bainson. Popped up high into the air. Townsend gloves it down. Plays it up ahead to Lazarus. Now to Bainson. Here is Bainson. Towards the front of the net. Chipped along there by Lazarus, and Schmidt covers. 8:04 remains in the second period. A couple of goals from the Wildcats in this frame have them up 3-0 here over the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. And to be honest, I don't know if Litviak got all of that shot. It looked like it was fluttering just a little bit, but somehow it found its way over the shoulder of Nick Schmidt to give the Wildcats a 3-0 lead. And you could tell the Cats bench was a little frustrated after a few calls that they felt should have been whistled that weren't. And they let out a pretty big roar after that goal found the back of the net. As the face-off is won here by the Killer Bees. It's loose in the circle, and Rio will pick this one up once more. This played forward here by Zoumalidis. Hustling after it here is G-Rads. G-Rads played out in front, swept away, puck at the blue paint, in towards the middle, checked down from behind was Zoumalidis. That's a clear cross-checking call as Chernyuk just cleaned him out from the side of the cage. 7:44 remaining in the second period. As the Cats will be on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill once more. It's the second time this evening they'll be shorthanded. As we have 7:47 remaining in the second, and Rio is starting to find some happy areas below that goal line as they then try to play it quickly back to the right-hand side of Austin Shaw's cage. They must have seen something in film on Austin Shaw because they're trying that from the right side, or from the left side of the zone from their perspective, but not from the right wing side. Anyway, off the draw, it's up to Williams at the point. Here is Croston skating it down to the perimeter. Croston looks to skate all the way around behind the net. Now gives it off to the far side. Up to the point, it's shaken to Williams. Here's Williams towards the net, save, rebound, and this is Cook swatting it all the way down as it trickles towards the goal line. Good to see Matt Cook out there with no ill effects from a couple of those stingers that he took on the kneecap on a couple of brave shot blocks there. He's a hockey player as he'll soldier on here as Weiss gains his own, chips to the corner. Here is the aforementioned Cook, first to it here. He'll swivel and fire it all the way down. Schmidt, Litviak in there causing some problems, but finally working it free as Waylon Williams will pick this one up and give it ahead to G-Rads. Rather Wendling. This is Wendling taking it below the goal line now. Off to the far side half ball. Farmer chips at it but can't get it free. Second attempt there. Cook is able to just spike it into the neutral zone as the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill is halfway done here. 55 seconds remaining as G-Rads gains this one on the right side, or on the near side I should say. Flipped loose, and now it could be a foot race as Farmer is trying to beat Waylon Williams back. Williams got good position on Farmer as now Farmer will take it to the corner. He'll try to tie up and waste some more time as the Wildcats are changing up defensemen. It's Kosmeski, fresh from the bench, as waiting for a cherry picker play was G-Rads. Here is G-Rads as he skates along the blue line. Shot wide of the cage, handcuffed Austin Shaw there. There's something wrong in front of the crease as he had some issues there below the goal line. Here is Townsend. He'll hammer this one off the high glass. It skips off the hand of Bell and down. And this will go for a hand pass, or, well, no, we're going to get a whistle. There's something wrong with the crease area in front of Austin Shaw. There's 6:04 remaining in the second period. The Cats are shorthanded for 17 more seconds. That was interesting. You saw Shaw stumble a little bit as he went to make the save. It looks like, no, it can't be. What it looks like from here is that the crease insert in the ice is starting to peel loose. So we'll have a quick stoppage on a repair on that one. That'll give us an opportunity to reset you here as the Wildcats lead 3-0. Austin Albrecht got things going on the power play. That made it 1-0 in the first period. The 14th straight game with a power play tally for the Cats as the first period ended 1-0. Then in the second period, APAT made it 2-0 early on in that frame on his 5th goal of the year after a pass across the slot was blocked away, but APAP just hammered home the loose disc as he was Johnny on the spot. Then on a clean breakout, it was Litviak chipping it forward for Oakley to skate onto. Oakley got possession in the left wing corner, slammed on the brakes, spun it back to Litviak just to the left side of the high slot, and Litviak put it home. That is goal number 6 on the year for Nikita. We're in a delay here at the State Farm Arena as they're working to fix the ice around the crease of Austin Shaw. 6:04 remains in the second. The Wildcats are short-handed for another 17 seconds here. As shots on goal in this frame. Shots on goal in the game are 18-11, as it looks like they are satisfied with the way with that repair. I have to say, I don't believe I've ever seen a logo come up like that mid-game. Chris Saransky, the Wildcats assistant coach, having a conversation with one of the linesmen here, as now Shurik giving an explanation to the officials. Worth noting that Kevin Sherazin had just stepped over the boards here. Looks like he's testing out that knee after he took a knee-to-knee collision, as he'll get back on the ice for his first shift since that. 6:04 remaining in the second. Cats leading by 3 as there is 17 seconds remaining on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. And they're going to end this period a little bit early, it looks like, to have more time to repair the ice. So we'll step aside here from the KYC, or from the State Farm Arena, beg your pardon, as they'll go to work on the ice here. We'll step aside and come back when we have some more information for you. Until then, the Wildcats are leading 3-0 here from the State Farm Arena as we suspend play with 6:04 remaining in the second period. We'll step aside and come back and keep you updated here on the situation from the State Farm Arena as the Cats lead 3-0 as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing continues on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network after this. We are back here at the State Farm Arena. The Wildcats are holding a 3-0 lead as we are in a delay for some ice repairs here at the top of the crease in the Wildcats defensive zone, the zone to my left. They are working on the repair. I'm hard pressed to see exactly what the issue is, but from here it looks like it's just so incredibly thin, and it's looking like either the ice insert is exposed or there is a severe gash along the red line. The referees have come back out onto the ice to assess the situation. We'll get you updates when we have them, but in the meantime, we will revisit last night's 3-1 win over these same Killer Bees here for the Wildcats' fourth in a row. So it'll be Dean Balsamo to take the opening face-off against Tommy APAP here. APAP at a Bloomfield Field, Michigan. And Dean Balsamo hailing from underway in the first period as APAP wins the draw. Here's Collins Staub up to the blue line quickly for Cam Knight. Now Staub down low into the corner for Bolio. Here's Bolio looking to shake it to the blue line. Knight slap shot save. Rebound. Puck is loose and Staub couldn't get it on Gage. Up to the blue line where it's held by Knight. He'll pull it off the wall and give down to Staub, who will look to walk down the half wall himself. Here's Staub walking all the way down below the goal line now. Looking to set up shop. Send in front. Knight holds on to one-timer. And a score there by Bolio. Ben Johansson drastically overcommitted. Knight held on the slap shot, played it off to Bolio, and it's a power play tally for the Wildcats. They lead with less than a minute played. Left it behind there, save. Puck is still loose, as that was Yeager following up. Great creativity shown there by Oakley. There, man all alone in front, and it's sent just wide of the cage by Logan Wendling as he was sprawling over a laid out David Zebnik. Swept away, Waylon Williams again shot, saves Zebnik, rebound, they score! Power play tally, it's Sumalitis, we're tied up at 1. Zebnik did the hard work, but the Wildcats couldn't clear the puck away. APAP clears, not out. Slap shot held, near side. Oh, and a save by Zebnik. Puck loose on the doorstep, and it skitters away up to the point. Claire, slapper once more. Van Tile hammered it wide. Here is Bell at the top of the zone. Cook settles, clears, but again not out. Staub on the far side wall, walking towards the middle. Here's Croston to the blue line. It's Bell, slap shot, save, rebound. It skittered along the goal line and wouldn't go. Pass. Oh, and a save by Johansson. Huge pad save on Farmer. Coming away short-handed. Zumalitis into the glove of Zebnik. He'll put it back into play as both loading, backdoor, they score! Konstantin Chernyuk, his first career goal. It comes on the power play. A great pass from Austin Bolio. He scored one, he set one up, and the Wildcats lead 2-1. Deflected, oh, a skitter just wide off the stick of Staub. Here is Staub. That would have been a big goal. W. Towards the back door and set up to the point for Cook. Loading shot. Blocker save there. As this is on the stick of Kevin Clare. Here's Gerard. Cleared off the wall. Stop with a good keep here. Can he find APAP? He does. APAP one-timer. And a good block there by a selling out Crossan. Cook. Back door. Stop. In front. They score. It's either APAPs or it stops, but a goal with 41.2 remaining in the second gives the Wildcats a 3-1 lead. Zumulidis picked by the referee, but he'll pick up the loose puck. It's played forward. Here's Stefan, 14 on 14 as Kosmeski was back on him. As this is under the stick of Bateson. Bateson chips free, but not out. Stepping in front, and a blocker save on Balsamo by Zevnik. Back door, spun towards the middle, and Lazarus has it on his bucket. Shot goes wide of the cage, and that will do it. Horn sounds. A good, solid, all-around performance from the Wildcats. A good, solid 60-minute effort, and a third period that saw them shut up shop when they needed to in the last few minutes. Good, solid team defense led the Wildcats to a 3-1 win last night. We are in a delay here as they attempt to repair the ice. The Wildcats are leading 3-0 as best as I can figure. If play is able to resume here this evening, what we'll do is finish this 6 minutes and 4 seconds that was remaining in the second period before play was halted. And then, I don't believe there will be a Zamboni session. I believe they would just change ends and go right back into the third period. Either way, play is halted here, as what is already going to be a long trip home for the Wildcats might get started a little bit later. Anyway, we'll take the opportunity to alert you to what's going on around the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. We'll keep it in the South Division for now, as in Topeka it is 2-2 between the Wenatchee Wild and the Topeka Roadrunners. Topeka had been down 1-0 in that one on last check. They're inside the third period there. They've scored 2 unanswered, as Daniel Brickley has tied things up on an early power play goal in the third. In North Richland Hills, how about this? It was 2-0 Brahmas. It is now 3-3. Jackalopes and the Brahmas trading punches here. That looks to be a good one in North Richland Hills. It was 2-0, then 3-2 in favor of Odessa. Alex Alger has had a pair of tallies tonight, but Little League Larson has tied it up as they are ticking down towards the end of the second period there from the NITEX Center. Outside of the South Division, 3-1, Fairbanks holding the lead over the Minnesota Magicians as they look to redeem themselves after a 4-1 loss Thursday evening. It is now 6-2 between the Tomahawks and the Springfield Junior Blues, as it looks like Johnstown will salvage a split out of the weekend. Or rather, this is game 2 of 3 between them, so it looks like these two will need a rubber game tomorrow night to decide who's going to take away this series, as there's about 15 minutes remaining in the third. In Minnesota, the Wilderness leading 2-0 over the Kenai River Brown Bears, just underway in the third period there. Also in Minnesota, or check that, in Janesville, I was about to say in Minnesota, but I realized I had already given you the Magician score. In Janesville, 3-2, the Ice Miners, how about this, holding the lead over the Janesville Jets. They're about halfway through the third period in that one. By the way, quick pause here. They've got the Freon tank out here, and they are desperately trying to harden up the goal crease and fill things in. It looks incredibly thin from up here. You can already tell. Anyway, back to the scoreboard here. 3-2, Austin Bruins holding the lead over the Cooley Region Chill at the 10-minute mark of the third in that one. It is 1-1 between Brookings and Aberdeen. They're underway in the second there. And 4-2, Minot holding a lead over the Bismarck Bobcats in the second intermission. And one final to alert you to thus far, and it looks like it turned into a football score. 9-8, it has gone final between Sioux and the Michigan Warriors. As just for curiosity's sake, we'll take a look and see. That one went to a shootout. How about that? Michigan tied that game up at 18:04 of the third period. As interestingly, neither goaltender was pulled in the contest despite both giving up 8 goals. So coming away with the win was the Sioux Eagles, 9-8 the score there, as they will pick up win number 18 on the year, will the Eagles. So we'll step aside here as we wait for updates on what's going on with the ice and what might happen for the remainder of this contest. Wildcats leading 3-0 here. Stay tuned to FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network for the latest updates on how the rest of this evening will play out. It's Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. All right, Wildcats fans, we've just been given some info to pass along to you here. And with the Cats leading 3-0, it's not necessarily info that they want to hear. They're going to suspend this contest as they have deemed that the ice is not playable for the players. And obviously player safety is and always will be the number one concern. So I have just received word that this game will be suspended until the Wildcats are back down here. They will finish this contest when they return to the Rio Grande Valley on March 19th and 20th. And we will provide more information about the specifics of that of the completion of this game when we are provided with them. But for the time being, we are wrapping it up here at the State Farm Arena. An awkward, abrupt ending to this one as the ice has been deemed unplayable. The game has been suspended. This basically means that it is frozen in time. These stats do not count. So, despite the fact that Litviak, APAP, and Albrecht have scored tonight, that will not show up until this game is completed. So, awkward here. Normally we give you the team's records at the end of this one, but they're all staying the same. 19-5-0, the Wildcats will stay as this game, as I mentioned, suspended until the Wildcats return back in March. Stay tuned to the Wildcats Facebook, Twitter, and website for more information on the specifics of that when we have them. Until then, I'm Ben Horner saying thanks so much for joining us here on an abbreviated edition of Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. We're hopping on the bus, heading home to Wichita Falls. We'll see you there. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night, and take care.